We are getting into our first ever mock draft on the channel, Redraft League. We're taking pick 10. We're drafting against every single one of you on the Sleeper app. If you want to not miss out on other mock drafts with us, go join the Discord link down below. We're taking a mock draft. I'm going to give you guys the best sleepers, the best advice. You'll see the best draft strategy on YouTube. We got the top 450 draft guide right there. It's free on the Discord as well as trade advice, all that good stuff. Let's go see what we can whip up with pick number 10. We're in here in the mock draft. We're pick number 10, as we said, baseball 47322. Jamar Chase goes number 1. No surprise. Saquon goes number 2. And we're going to see how the rest of this draft continues. At pick number 10, we're expecting to, we're going to get one of the big wide receivers in the second tier. The top 6 guys are all going to be elite tier. But the good part about being at the second half of round 1 is we'll be able to double dip here. I expect to get someone like Nico Collins and Amon-Ra St. Brown, where they're both guys in the same tier. Whereas if you're over here on the left side of the board, at the 210, at the 211, at the 212, it's going to be a tier down. Whereas I'm getting 2 high caliber players. You're only getting 1 upper tier and then 1 a little bit lower. Wow, that is interesting. We have pretty standard for the first 4 picks. We got Jefferson, Bijan, Gibbs. CeeDee Lamb is available here to Adrian at pick number 7 because somebody goes Malik Neighbors at number 6. CeeDee Lamb is available at number 8. Why was I not the number 8 pick? Puka and Neighbors. I mean, I don't mind Neighbors over CeeDee Lamb because that's just personal preference, but Puka over Lamb feels like a big reach. If we get a Amon-Ra right here falling to us at 10, I'd be a happy camper. The guy I'm not going to take is Derrick Henry. So Amon-Ra goes at number 10, and now we're in that tier where we're going to have to just double dip on somebody, right? So I'm passing on Derrick Henry. My official rankings, the guy that I would have next is going to be, let's go take a look. Like, I actually have Devon Achane. Like, Devon Achane would be interesting. I think that Brian Thomas Jr. and Nico Collins, I'd be fine getting either of those wide receivers here at the 2-3. So I'm tempted to go Devon Achane and then just see what we get coming back around. I think I'm going to go Devon Achane. Go an interesting build. On Sleeper in your redraft league, running back values are going to be bumped up. There's only 4 picks before our next at the 2-3, and I'm just relying on either Nico, BTJ falling to us in that range. If not, then we're going to be in a tough situation where we might be going zero wide receivers the first 2 rounds. Ashton, Jenny, Drake, Lennon come off the board. That's good for us. If he goes Nico and BTJ, he's going to have the start that we were kind of hoping for, that we were wanting to have ourselves. Our backup plan is going to be either BTJ, or not BTJ, that's our primary plan. Our backup would be Bowers or McCaffrey. Derrick Henry goes. Thank God we get exactly what we wanted. So I don't think Achane, you can see Genty and Henry, they both went at the 1-2 turn on the other side of us. If we went BTJ with our 110, we wouldn't have got Devon Achane to pair up with him. Now we have a balanced approach. We go 1 wide receiver, 1 running back. BTJ falls to us here, and we have a good-looking start that I'm excited about. Devon Achane paired up with BTJ. BTJ, the only concern you have is, sure, Travis Hunter comes in. But Travis Hunter, he's probably going to be playing 80% of the snaps on offense. And BTJ kind of proved that he is going to be at alpha, regardless of who's there. BTJ, he's in a good spot, poised to crush. We have elite wide receiver, elite running back, and I like the start right here. You can see what I'm talking about double dipping. At the 9 spot, we have White Sox Nation going on Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a 34% team target share in 2024, and he's averaged a 30% target share or higher the last couple of years with the Eagles. So you can see the double dipping. Now, it's interesting to see McCaffrey fall all the way down to the 2-5. I'm curious to see where McCaffrey's going to go in redraft leagues. McCaffrey, he was the RB3 or better in 5 of 8 of his seasons, every healthy season. 3 of those 8 seasons, he was a bust, and he completely screwed your league. So this is the double dipping. This is the teardrop that I'm talking about. I'm loving all the guys that were picked in round 2. Now, Derrick Henry, I'm kind of faded Derrick Henry myself, but I understand why he was taken. Now, you'll see the teardrop. Like Bucky Irving, Bucky Irving is not as exciting as any of the guys available here. The elite quarterback, that's exciting. Ladd McConkey, that's exciting. McBride, sure. So really, it's just going to be elite quarterback, maybe Ladd McConkey, and then it's kind of just a bunch of guys that are in the same tier. Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Like, I'm not as excited about those guys. Now, we'll see how the rest of this draft board plays out. I like our balanced approach right here at pick number 10. Pretty standard right here at the 2-3 turn. I'm not liking the teams I'm seeing now that were in the top 4 picks. Like, they're getting guys like Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. Like, let's look at the team at number 2. Saquon Barkley, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Tyreek Hill. I love the Tyreek Hill pick. Love the value there. But, I mean, looking at these teams like Kyron Williams, not exciting. I like the Chase Brown value. Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, it's just not as exciting picks. Like, this team at number 4, I don't like. Bijan Robinson, I like that pick. It's a no-brainer. Then you have Jonathan Taylor and T. Higgins. I'm fading T. Higgins in a big, big way. And, of course, we are 3 picks away, and the elite quarterbacks begin coming off the board. I love seeing James Cook go. I love seeing McBride go. And that means we're going to get one of these elite quarterbacks right here at the 3-10. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin. Who are we going to get? Now, he goes Terry McLaurin, which kind of boxes us out. You're not really looking to stack right here in a redraft league. Now, this is going to be something that makes a lot of people probably a little bit upset. Breece Hall, Marvin Harrison Jr., trash. Evans, trash. Like, these guys are bumped way too high up the rankings. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself the elite quarterback, the guy that's going to have 1 rushing touchdown per game on average. I'm going Jalen Hurts over Jaden Daniels. I have him ranked over Jaden Daniels in my rankings, and I'm going to stick true to my guns. Now, getting the elite quarterback here it sets us up real nice. We're going to have the rushing upside. Now, this could be a league where it's 4-point passing touchdown, 6-point rushing touchdown. Jalen Hurts' rushing abilities are going to definitely help us out here. The Eagles have a much harder schedule in 2025 than they did in 2024. Did I say that? And that means they're going to have to pass the ball a little bit more. Love getting Jalen Hurts here. George Kittle goes. This is an interesting thing to see George Kittle go this close to Trey McBride. In best ball drafts, George Kittle's going 3 rounds later than this. So we have Achane, we have Brian Thomas Jr., we have elite quarterback. We're going to be going wide receiver running back here at the 4-3. Now, the sleeper ADP is completely messed up, man. Like, there's a lot of guys here, a lot of values that we probably won't be seeing. Like, Rashee Rice, love that value right there. Jaden Daniels still being available is kind of wild. Mike Evans is a name that I'm potentially thinking of going with. Now, I wish I knew how to queue people up. We got 18 seconds. I wish I knew how to queue up Mike Evans. Let's see if we have any other picks I like. I mean, Jaden Daniels, falling value. Breece Hall, falling value. I think I'm going to go Mike Evans. Now, let's do it. We'll go Mike Evans. We have Mike Evans and Brian Thomas Jr. Evans averaged over 17 PPR points per game in 2024. He played like 14 or 15 games, so he was relatively healthy, and he's pretty much consistently been a top 15 wide receiver in points per game or better every single year of his career. He is Mr. Reliable. He drinks from the fountain of youth every single time before the game. It's a contract year, too. This is Mike Evans' last year with the Buccaneers, most likely. Got a lot to prove. He's going to be on the field in every single formation. Like, I don't worry about Ibuka taking any work from Evans unless Evans or Godwin miss time with injury. So Evans poised to crush. That's our second receiver. I like it. I like the build so far. All right, we're a few picks away from our 5th pick of the draft. We're looking at another running back, definitely at our 5-6 turn, and probably another receiver unless we have a tight end value that we like. We see Xavier Worthy going here at the 5-5. Hate this team. Kenneth Walker, not a good running back that I like to be taking, man. He's just not consistent. He's not going to stay healthy. Zach Charbonnet is going to go in round 9, and it's just not a good pick. Xavier Worthy, don't like that pick either. He averaged 11 points, 1.3 yards per out run. It's not good. So the guys I'm looking at, like if Devontae Smith falls to us, I'm not a big fan of Devontae Smith this season. I'm not. Now, Devontae Smith has averaged 14, 15 points per game, and we do already have Jalen Hurts, so it kind of could set us up with a unique pairing. The next guy I'd be looking at would actually be Jameson Williams. We've seen a big run on running backs that hurt us. I was hoping James Conner would be available to us or Chuba Hubbard. Would have loved having either of them as the RB2. I'm not taking Montgomery. I'm not taking David Montgomery as my RB2 on my team when he's the RB2 on his team. So we're going to get our 3rd wide receiver. That'll be our flex spot. We now have BTJ, Mike Evans, and Devontae Smith. And at this 6th pick, we know what we're going with, man. We know that we're going with running back. Now, they're trying to bait us into taking Isaiah Pacheco. Absolutely not. We're going to be in a unique tier. Now, I've been saying it all season. At round number 6, the running backs you want to look at are the rookies. Let's take a look at what running backs are available. Montgomery, Pacheco, no, not exciting. Quinshon Judkins, okay, but how much is he going to be splitting time with Jerome Ford and with the other bum? Travion Henderson, okay, I like that a lot too. DeAndre Swift, now will DeAndre Swift be available to us at round 7? You know, I actually have DeAndre Swift ranked ahead of all of these running backs on the board, but just the way that the sleeper ADP lines up, I think there's a greater chance that we get DeAndre Swift, Caleb Johnson, on the other side at round 7. So I'm going to use that in the back of my head. I like the Jameson Williams pick. I like the Ted McMillan pick that I'm seeing from these guys. I think Kyler Murray's a good selection at quarterback, but I think it's a little bit too early to be taking him. I would have liked to see him fall. Now, he does have Kyler Murray paired and stacked with Marvin Harrison Jr., which is definitely interesting. We see Quinshon Judkins go off the board. I'm going to queue up TreVeyon Henderson right here. TreVeyon Henderson is my favorite of the rookie running backs just because of the receiving usage. He could have an Alvin Kamara type ceiling. He has that. Olave's hard to pass on. Travis Hunter's hard to pass on. Jalen Waddle's hard to pass on. But we set ourselves up in a world where we need a second running back. We go TreVeyon Henderson. Listen, the most important thing when you are doing your redraft league is to stay balanced. Make sure your team is balanced. We have elite quarterback. Quarterback, we're good. We have 3 wide receivers, BTJ and Evans. They'll hold down the fort. Devontae Smith, flex play, upside with Hurts. We only have Achane at running back. Now we have Henderson at our RB2 spot. Now, looking at our team, I'm confident in our 2 receivers. Devontae Smith, he's an okay flex play, but realistically, I'm not going to be starting. I'm not excited to start him every single week. TreVeyon Henderson, I'm not excited to start him every single week. I'm kind of chasing upside in the second half of the year with him. So coming back at the 7-8 turn, I'm probably going to be looking at least one more running back and probably going wide receiver as well. We'll see what values fall to us. This team at number 2 almost has a very good draft. The picks I don't like is Jackson Smith and Jigba, DJ Moore and Mixon, but I love the Saquon pick, I love the Tyreek Hill pick, I love the Baker pick, and the Godwin pick. He stacks them at the 6-7 turn. This guy at team 5 is a menace. This guy has, oh man, his team sucks. He has 4 RBs. 2 of them, Kenneth Walker and Tracy, are kind of dusty. Tyron Tracy's not bad at this value, but he's got Xavier Worthy as his wide receiver 2 currently. This guy right here went 0 RB, takes Jaylen Warren right here in the 7th round as his RB2 after Bucky Irving. We're going to be on the clock here. There's some guys I have queued up that I really like. If Jerry Jeudy falls to us, it's tempting. I'm hoping we get Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley will be a receiver that I am excited about starting in the flex spot, but it's going to be hard to pass on Calvin Ridley if Caleb Johnson is available. Now, it might be okay. We're seeing running backs get bumped up off the board. Like, a lot of these teams already have 3 or 4 running backs, which is going to put the pressure on us. Now, the teams on the other side of me also only have 2 running backs. Calvin Ridley gets sniped from us. Caleb Johnson is the best pick on the board. Travis Kelce, Jonnu Smith, don't take tight end in this range. Definitely don't take Jonnu. Don't take Mark Andrews. The tight ends we're going to get later in this draft are going to be insane values. Just you wait and see. We're going to go with Caleb Johnson. Now we have 2 rookie running backs. The question is, who's getting us the running back points early on in the season? We have a lot of upside at running back later on in the season, but early on it's kind of dusty, which is why we could potentially go with our next running back of Brian Robinson Jr. and say, look, Brian Robinson Jr. will get us those running back points in the early weeks, and then Henderson, Caleb Johnson, they'll get us the points later on in the season, which is kind of what I'm tempted to do. We'll see if B-Rob gets sniped from us. If B-Rob does get sniped, then we're kind of in what I like to call Death Valley, where Death Valley, it's not a good place to be. Thank God for that. We get Brian Robinson Jr. So running back, we're pretty much done. Devon Achane paired up with Brian Robinson Jr., they will be the starting running backs. They'll get us points early on. We have TreVeyon Henderson and Caleb Johnson as our high upside running backs. They will win us our league. Quarterback, elite QB, Jalen Hurts. Wide receiver, this is what I'm saying. We got to go balance. We just went running back. We went running back in round 6, 7, 8. We got to play catch up at wide receiver for sure. We have Brian Thomas Jr. and Mike Evans. We have Devontae Smith paired up with Jalen Hurts. We're looking at tight end as well. In round 9, in round 10, that's usually when I like to grab my elite tight end. I'm thinking Tyler Warren. I'm thinking Tucker Kraft. I'm thinking Colston Loveland. Now, we're also going to have to play catch up at wide receiver. So we could potentially try pushing tight end around 11, but that's a risk that might not be smart to take. Hopefully we get a wide receiver we love at pick 9 or pick 10, like Darnell Mooney, maybe Josh Downs. We'll see if any of them are lucky enough for us to get at 9-10. We are 2 picks away. Josh Downs goes. Dang it. We wanted to get Josh Downs. He'd be somebody I'd be happy to start in the flex. Jaden Reed's a decent receiver option still available, but I'm high on Darnell Mooney. Now, if we don't get... Do we think Darnell Mooney makes it to us at pick 10? Because I'm tempted to go Colston Loveland here. I mean, looking at the tight ends available, if we don't get Loveland, we're going to get Tucker Kraft. It might even be the smart thing to do to pair. You know what? I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Watch and learn, baby. We'll go Colston Loveland right here with our 9th round selection. And we're going to double dip at tight end. Now, it's tempting to go Darnell Mooney. It's tempting to go Jaden Reed to build up depth at wide receiver. But I'm confident that I can find wide receiver, potentially wide receiver ones later on in this draft, where I'm going to double dip at tight end. And listen, balance. If we went only Loveland, then we're only rookie tight end. We're not going to get the early season points. So Darnell Mooney's here, Jaden Reed's here. We could get a wide receiver 4 for our team, potential flex upside. I'm going double tight end at the 9-10 turn. I told you, this is my time where I go tight end, the 9-10 turn. I go Colston Loveland, late season upside, paired with Tucker Kraft, who's honestly year 3 player. He's got all the upside in the world. So our tight end room is now done with 2 tight ends. We have Tucker Kraft, Colston Loveland. Love the tight end room. Running back, we're basically done at running back too with Devon Achane, Brian Robinson Jr., Travion Henderson, and Caleb Johnson. Quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., Mike Evans, and Devontae Smith. We're light on wide receiver. We know what we're targeting at round 11, at round 12. I'm loving the team. Kyle Williams goes off the board with the auto pick, and I was tempted to do something crazy and go double quarterback because Drake May being available here to us is kind of insane. I'm tempted to go Justin Fields too for the quarterback depth, but we don't really need quarterback depth and we're chasing wide receivers. We honestly the guys on the board right now, my favorite guys are the quarterbacks. Like, Dak Prescott was a QB3 in the past, QB7 in the past. Drake May, Justin Fields, I like both those guys. We can't afford to take them. It's good for us that only 2 wide receivers have went right here in this round. Jack Besh goes ahead of us. We're going to get Rashid Shaheed. I'm glad he's still available. Again, we're chasing wide receiver depth behind Devontae Smith. Rashid Shaheed, he's going to be the wide receiver 2 for the New Orleans Saints. They don't really have anybody else. When Shaheed was healthy last year, he looked real good with Derek Carr. I think the Saints quarterback is downgraded from Derek Carr, though. So I'm a bit concerned about Shaheed, but as our wide receiver 4, realistically, we're not expecting him to see our lineup. I'm liking the team. Thielen was 5th in my queue. He goes way earlier than I thought. I was excited to get Thielen around 13, 14. So interesting to see Adam Thielen go there. This guy honestly that's his wide receiver 5 too, so I don't mind that pick from him at all. Now, next pick, it's going to be tough. You have the big Q on the board, Quentin Johnston. You have Christian Kirk, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown. Now, Quentin Johnston, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown, they're all guys that are like spike weeks. Same with Rashid Shaheed. So we already took our spike week player with Rashid Shaheed. That's the guy we're relying on to have the spike weeks, throw him in. Maybe he has a 20-point bomb and we're lucky. So we don't need another spike week type player, which is why I'm going to go Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk kind of projects out to be that Houston Texans kind of high reception type guy in the slot. So I'm expecting Christian Kirk to be somebody that has a safer floor, where if I need somebody to just go in my lineup and I need at least 8 or 9 points from the flex spot this week. Christian Kirk, get in there, finish with 4 receptions for 50 yards, and call it a day in the flex spot. Now, that would obviously be worst case scenario, but now our wide receiver room looks a little bit better. You have BTJ and Mike Evans, the 2 alphas. You have Devontae Smith as our flex play. Then you have Shaheed and Christian Kirk. As you know, worst case scenario, they're going to have to be in the lineup. Now, ideally, our flex spot is going to be something interesting, right? Like, our flex spot, we have upside at the running back position. So while Devontae Smith is in there as our wide receiver 3, we also have the chance where if Brian Robinson Jr. has a good season, which I think B-Rob, he's still the alpha on that Commanders offense, Travion Henderson gives us good PPR upside, where if Henderson pops off or Caleb Johnson pops off, we now then have 3 or 4 viable running backs. We can slot one of them into the flex spot. So I'm liking this team. I'm liking this team a lot. I still wish, we got Thielen. I think Thielen would have given us better upside at the wide receiver position. We'll see what we get here in the final 2 rounds. Obviously, we're going to have to go defense. We're going to have to go kicker. So we basically have 1 spot left. And I might go backup quarterback. If Justin Fields makes it back to us, I'm going Justin Fields. If Drake May is still available, I'm going Drake May. Usually if you go elite quarterback, you probably want to have only 1 quarterback on the roster. But the wide receivers that I'd be targeting aren't exciting to me at this point. Looking at the wide receivers like Cedric Tillman, it could be smart to go Cedric Tillman. Besides Cedric Tillman, there's not a single receiver that I'm loving on the board right now. Dante Thornton could be another guy that could be smart to add to the team. And that could be the pick that we go. I think we're going to add Dante Thornton to the queue. He's getting first team reps. So if we don't get Dante Thornton, Cedric Tillman, or Hollywood, if we don't get any of the receivers we like, I'm just going to go with the second quarterback and call it a day. Justin Fields and Drake May both go in round 13 ahead of us, and it probably is a good thing because it saves us from ourselves. The only kicker we've seen go so far is Brandon Aubrey in round 11, which I hate that, man. Don't go kicker. You're going to be kicking yourself later on with what you'll be doing. Marquise Brown's available for us, but the Chiefs have a lot of competition with Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Kelsey. So I don't love Hollywood Brown. Again, Quentin Johnston's now the wide receiver 3 there in Los Angeles. I'm tempted to just throw a dart at a sleeper option I like. I'm between Dante Thornton, Cedric Tillman. Like, any 4 of these receivers could be the right pick. I'd say it's probably a 25% hit rate, so we're really just throwing a dart. I'm going Cedric Tillman. He had an insane run, and he projects out as the wide receiver 2 in this Cleveland Brown offense. So Cedric Tillman, who knows what he can be? Well, I guess we'll find out. That's the team. Obviously, at the 14th and 15th selection, you would go defense, you would go kicker. So this is how the team projects out. At quarterback, we have Jalen Hurts. Running back, Devon Achane, Trayvon Henderson. And we have Brian Robinson Jr. and Caleb Johnson. So great running back room. Wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., Mike Evans, Devontae Smith. Those are our 3 starters. Then you have Rashid Shaheed, Christian Kirk, and Tillman on the bench. Tight end, Tucker Kraft and Colston Loveland. Love that pairing. That's how the team looks, man. I think this team's pretty solid. You guys can let me know down in the comments. Now, what I'm also going to say is I'm going to go through and look at these teams, right? So we have Jamar Chase for the guy that picked first. We have Chase, Metcalf, Sutton, Juwan Jennings-Harris. Don't like the Juwan Jennings pick. The rest of it's all right. You have Bo Nix paired with Sutton. I like the Bo Nix value you got. Running back, he's got Kyron Williams, Chase Brown, Aaron Jones. Honestly, I don't mind this guy's team whatsoever. I like the Ramondre Stevenson pick. I think this guy has a solid build except for one thing. Tight end. His only tight end he goes is Njoku, and Njoku can't stay healthy, and Njoku has a pest on his lineup, and Njoku has a pest in Harold Fannin Jr. They're going to run 2 tight end. The quarterback room might not be great in Cleveland, so don't like the tight end room there. At pick 2, we have Saquon, Mixon, Najee, Spears. Your running back room is cooked. Like, Mixon is your RB2. I hate that. Wide receiver room actually looks pretty good. And tight end, he's got Jonnu and Kyle Pitts. Don't like the tight end room. Pick number 3, we have Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Debo, Bateman as wide receiver. Not a big fan of the wide receiver room. Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields over-under in passing yards is 2,500 this year. So I don't know how Garrett Wilson can be going in round 3. Running back, he's got Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Tony Pollard, Jadon Blue, Jordan Mason, Jalen Wright. I love your first 3 running back selections. I don't think you needed to invest in Jadon Blue, Jordan Mason, and Jalen Wright. I like the value you got here with Jordan Mason, but the rest of it, not great. Quarterback, only Justin Herbert. I don't like that either. At pick 4, we have Bijan, Jonathan Taylor. Wide receiver, T. Higgins. Oh, man, T. Higgins. Yep, your wide receiver room stinks. Wide receiver room is not good. Rest of your team is good. I like the Drake May backup pick right there. At team 5, you have Jameer Gibbs. Okay, this guy's team sucks too. This guy's team, his wide receiver room is Ladd McConkey, which is fine. Then Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, and Marvin Mims. You're cooked at receiver, buddy. Your running back room's not bad. Tight end room stinks too with Mark Andrews and Kincaid. It's tough going elite quarterback, but I made it work. Let's see if the guy number 6 made elite QB work. He had Neighbors at pick 6. Interesting. Bucky with a second pick. I like it. Then he goes Lamar Jackson, smashes wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Travis Hunter. Okay. At running back, he catches up in the later rounds with Warren. Yeah, I'm worried about your tight end room with Ingram and Likely. That's what I'm worried about. I like the Field backup QB pick. I worry a little bit about your wide receiver room. Like, who's your wide receiver 2 that's going to start every single week? Obviously, Travis Hunter has the upside. Devonta Adams gives you some decent upside as well. I probably would have picked somebody instead of Zay Flowers. Like, instead of Zay Flowers, I would have rather maybe had Cortland Sutton. I think Cortland Sutton would have been a better pick. I think Chris Godwin would have been better than Zay Flowers for you. At number 7, we have Puka, Addison, who's suspended, Jerry Jeudy, Shakir. I love the Downs-Mooney pairing this guy got in round 9-10. One of my favorite pairings. I don't think you need to go Dallas Goedert in the 11th round when you already have Brock Bowers, especially when your running back room is James Cook and Chuba Hubbard. Your running back room is cooked, buddy. At pick 8, we have CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Calvin Ridley, love that. Stephon Diggs, Pittman, and Higgins. So I think this guy's wide receiver room is serviceable. Running back, he's got McCaffrey, James Conner. And ever heard of hyperfragile running back? Because that's what this guy did. He smashed running back in the final 4 rounds, but it's not going to be enough to catch up with McCaffrey and Connor. This guy's high upside, but it's scary. Number 9, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, McLaurin. Don't love the McLaurin pick right here in round 3. I would have rather you went elite quarterback in Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Plays catch up at running back. Breece Hall, RJ Harvey, Pacheco. I think that's serviceable. Hate the Roman Dunze pick. Hate the Travis Kelce pick. Hate the Caleb Williams pick. Rookie wide receiver is not bad. Don't like the Garendo. Don't like Nick Chubb. Team's all right. My team, Devon Achane, Trayvon Henderson, Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson Jr., wide receiver, BTJ, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith, Shaheed, Kirk, Tillman, Johnson, and Hollywood Brown. I guess so. What you can do is you can wait till you see the offseason and you see the preseason games. You can then drop the guys that sucked in the preseason and then add your defensive kicker later, which is probably the smart thing to do, which is why I like what I did with the auto draft by accident. And then on the pick 11, 2 teams left, we got Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, Ted McMillan, Jacoby Myers, Adam Thielen, serviceable receiver room, Derrick Henry, Quinshon Judkins, Travis Etienne. I like his running back room. Elite tight end in Kittle. Quarterback is where it stinks with Brock Purdy and Prescott. Not a big fan. All right, final pick. This guy has Ashton Genty and Amari Hampton, 2 rookie running backs. Rashad White, okay. Benson, Corum. Running back room, a lot of late season upside, but Hampton scares me early on. Wide receiver, we have Drake London, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jameson Williams. Yeah, I don't love this guy's team either, and I think that my team is probably my favorite in the draft. That is a mock draft from the pick 10 spot. Let me know how I did. Hopefully I gave you guys a bunch of good draft guide advice. Smash the like, subscribe button. Thanks for watching.